You finally did it! You bought a gaming PC. Sure, you didn't build it yourself, but who cares? You have officially joined the PC Gamers Club, my boy. You are no longer stuck with a console or some budget gaming laptop. No, man, you are on another level now. Finally, you can play the games you've always dreamed of. Maxed out settings, high FPS, the full experience. Yeah, I know that feeling. That full powerful moment when you can finally do what you couldn't before. But, like everything in life, Prebuilt gaming PCs come with their own pros and cons. And today, I want to tell you about the risks, the things you need to know before buying a Prebuilt gaming PC. And of course, I will share my own unlucky experience with one. So, let's get into it. Okay, I bought my Prebuilt gaming PC almost 3 years ago. And honestly, comparing 19-year-old me to the 16-year-old me back then, we were completely different people. Now, I kind of understand how PCs work. I've already built 2 of my own, flipped them, and even made a little money off it. But 3 years ago, man, I was dumb as hell. At that time, my PC understanding was something like that. i3 was trash, i5 was okay, i7 was awesome, i9 got tier. That's where my knowledge ended. Oh yeah, and RTX equals cool. That was basically my entire worldview. Okay, you get the idea. I was just a regular teenager dreaming of gaming. And not just gaming though, I wanted to make something. Videos, learning software, you know, the usual dream. It's a popular thing now, by the way. Teens wanting to game and turn it into something more. At the time, I had a gaming laptop I got for my 14th birthday. It was actually a solid laptop, but for some reason, it just wasn't enough. Yeah, at 14, I made a huge mistake. I bought a gaming laptop. Why? Because my family never really moves. We've lived in the same place for years. Nothing ever changes. So yeah, buying a gaming laptop was honestly one of the dumbest decisions I've ever made. You know how it is? They are flashy and powerful at first, then give it a bit of time and suddenly they start lagging, overheating, breaking down. That's exactly what happened with mine. Just couldn't handle editing anymore. And as you probably know, gaming laptops aren't exactly upgrade friendly. They are more like disposable machines. So yeah, 16-year-old me realized something had to change. Obviously, I didn't have the money to buy a gaming PC on my own. Yeah, I was making a bit there and here and mostly working as a waiter. And trust me, the pay was trash. Long hours, little money and a whole lot of suffering. After finally saving up at least half the money I needed, I somehow convinced my parents to help me out. I told them it wouldn't be a waste, that I would use the PC for something productive, like learning and trying to make money online. Somehow, they agreed. So we went to the local tech store and honestly, the selection was pretty lame. Back then I knew absolutely nothing about PC hardware, so I bought what I thought was a decent setup. Spoiler, it wasn't. Imagine this, almost 1,000 bucks, and I walked out with a PC running an RTX 3050 and an i5 12th gen. Now at the time I was hyped. I thought it was a killer setup, but looking back now, yeah, I messed up bad. But alright, blять, enough about me. Let's talk about the downsides of buying a pre-built gaming PC. The stuff no one warns you about. First of all, the people who build these pre-builds, they don't care about giving you a good product. They care about making money off you. In my case, they cut corners everywhere. They slapped in a cheap 450 watt deep cool power supply that barely handled my system. And also, they threw in this big ass tower cooler which was crooked, like actually crooked. It looked ugly as hell. They gave me one stick of cheap ass 16GB of Kingston RAM. Yup, a single green naked RAM stick, blять. Not even dual channel. And only years later did I realize how much better dual channel memory is. In case you don't know, 2 8 gigs of sticks, still 16 in total, will always perform better than one 16GB of stick. That's called dual channel, my boy. These guys were so cheap, they couldn't even throw in 2 normal sticks. Absolute trash. And to top it all off, they gave me an SSD with only 512GB. I don't even know how I survived with that little storage, but somehow I did. At first, I didn't complain. To me, that PC was perfect. I used it about 6 months without any real issues. I edited videos, learned new stuff, and pushed it to the limits. But then, after about a year, the main problem started. The power supply, it started getting really loud, especially during the summer. And where I live, summer gets hot, like extremely hot. Even the AC doesn't help sometimes. So yeah, unfortunately, I had to do something with my computer. Yeah, I had opened it up a few times, studied the cables, figure out how the power supply connects to the motherboard and all that. And honestly, that was very great practice. That pre-built machine actually taught me how a computer is put together, how things are connected, how everything talks to each other. So with money I earned, I bought a brand new 750 watt modular MSI power supply. And this was my first ever real PC building experience, my boy. Replacing the power supply took me like 4 or even 5 hours. Yeah, I was slow. I was scared it might explode or something. But nope, everything worked. Everything I learned from opening up my PC, from watching YouTube tutorials, it all paid off. I successfully replaced the PCU. And that's, my friends, that's when my golden era began. I finally understood how computers actually work. And after replacing the power supply, which I still think is the hardest part of any build, I felt unstoppable. I knew I was getting the hang of this whole PC building thing. Right after that, I replaced my old crappy cooler with this clean all black SE214 XT. It looked great and fit my setup perfectly. I even changed the thermal paste. Yeah, I was getting serious about this. As you probably tell, after that I just kept going. I ended up replacing everything. I got new GPU, I bought a new gaming case that actually fit the card, and I finally upgraded my RAM to dual channel, 32 gigabytes by the way. And on top of that, I added 1TB Kingston SSD. Seriously, I couldn't stop. And at that point, I knew for sure I finally learned how to build a PC on my own. Yeah, I get it. For the price of 1000 bucks I had 3 years ago, I could have built a much better PC, or at least that's what people say. But, my boy, the reality is, not all of us are born smart or experienced. You learn over time, and most of the time you learn by messing up. Every mistake teaches you something, and for me, that pre-built PC was my biggest lesson. If I hadn't bought it, I probably never would have learned how to build PCs by myself. So yeah, it wasn't perfect, but in the end, I'm kinda glad it happened. You know what advice I would give? Right now we live in a time where AI is everywhere. 3 years ago this stuff was just starting. I didn't even know what ChatGPT was. But now, if you are someone who has zero knowledge about PCs and you are thinking about buying a pre-built gaming PC, just do this. Copy the specs, ask every AI, is it worth it? That's it. You don't have to be a tech genius. You just need to ask the right questions, and tools like this can really help. But remember this, my boy, even the best pre-built gaming PC will never match the one you built with your own hands. Like I said earlier, the people who build these pre-builds, they want to make money off you. There is always gonna be a price markup. So yeah, make your own decision, my comrade. Be smart, and if you believe in yourself, it's always better to build your own gaming PC. Trust me, it will save you money. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.